is really beautiful out, so we're gonna move. Yeah. Okay. We'll start seated. If you have a block, you can catch your block and just place it underneath of your bum on a degree that feels good for you. The middle height feels nice to me. Take your hands to your bum and lift your cheeks out from underneath of you. Sit high on your sits bones. Really feel the connection of your roots, the top of your feet, your knees, your shins, your sits bones, your hips. Root down and then almost like squiggle your belly, little shimmy side to side to create this awareness of the capacity for length. Breathe fullness into the rib cage, soften the shoulders, lift the chin, and take it in. You know, it's really nice to do kind things for others. There is this beautiful act of love and energy that is transferred when you give. It feels good to give something to others, to make them feel good. The giving doesn't have to be anything like physical. It could be. The giving could even be just something so simple like a phone call. Giving your time. Giving a smile. Giving some kind words. The act of giving is so sacred and so beautifully, positively energizing. It not only affects and impacts the person who you give to, but it ripples outward from them and into you. This is the practice, to give more. Because when you give from your heart, whatever it is, you better believe you're going to see it back. And you don't give to get things. You give things because the giving is the benefit. The giving is the feel good. And the giving to give somebody else the opportunity to feel good feels good. Sometimes you hear little nature things and you're like, what is that little screeching sound? Okay, take a couple more breaths here. Lift the corners of your mouth and place both hands on your heart. Breathe into the pressure of your hands and lift your heart a little higher towards the sky. Lift your chin and promise yourself a beautiful practice. Promise yourself to give your whole heart, to lead in all of your movements in this little journey we're about to go on with love, positive energy, gratitude. Seal it. And then we will take the block and just place it to the side. Yeah. Reach your arms forward and wide. Top of the foot presses down, gentle drag back for a low hollow in the ankle. We use this to connect into the posterior chain, and when we drag the top of the foot down and back, we energetically root the hips back so that the hips root back, the knees are kind of moving forward. We get this zigzag all the time. Arms forward and wide, lift the chin and open the throat. It's like we're driving a big tractor or flying a plane. Just feel this expanse, lengthen the belly, press arms forward, lift into the chin, breathe full into the rib cage, breathe full into the belly, and then plant your hands down. Walk the knees back, take up space, allow the belly to be long. Root the hips back and wide, keep the butt high, widening as you pull back and lengthen into the belly, and then ripple forward. Chin pulls into the chest, press down to broaden the back. Root hips back, feel the tension in the belly. Ripple forward, chin to chest, connecting into each vertebrae, round through. Hips root back. There's like this tension, this elasticity you feel in the belly. And then we ripple forward, feeling each vertebrae round and move and glide. A couple more times, root back, widen, feel the belly pull, and then ripple forward, rounding through the back, press down to expand the shoulders, chin to chest until we make it to the top, and then soften the belly, root the hips back, lengthening, and ripple forward, big stretch. Press down to rise the back of the heart. Coming back to a neutral spine. Strong push of the ground away broadens through the back. There's a gentle tugging of the hips back. We hold these hollows in the groins so the belly is long. The knees can energetically press down, forward, and out to the side. We feel this tension in the belly. The hips are pulling back and the heart is pulling forward, and there's this length that we feel. And we can begin to swagger the hips. That moves into this serpentine motion of the belly. And it's like a little snake or like a little worm. Maybe a snake is more real. And we just start to feel. Sit the hips way back. Slide your right hand all the way out to the right side. It kind of lines up with your right knee-ish. And then take a big stretch, reach your left arm long. You can allow the left knee to lift up off of the mat and use the top of the left foot to dig down and drag back so that we hold hollows in the groins. The hips are energetically rooting back as we big stretch up and over to the side. One more pulse. And then drop the left knee, move it all the way over to the other side. Big stretch, right arm reaches long to the left. Can lift up the right knee, use the right top of the foot to dig down, drag back, roots the hips back, soften the belly, big stretch, open it up. Back through center, hands plant forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, send the hips high up to the sky. The feet are almost as wide as the mat, at least as wide as the hips. Take a big bend into the knees. Connect the paws. Paws press down and out, and then extend the back line of the legs by setting the hips a little higher. The heart is forward and full, but we keep the wrists ahead of the shoulders, so there's this length in the belly. The crown reaches forward and the hips pulse back, widening behind. Little pulse forward and back. It's energetically like lengthening the belly. And the head reaches forward, the neck is long, the belly is long. And then just slow knee knocks to the center, one at a time. Keep pressing the mat away. Hold the fullness through the back of the rib cage. Back through center. Heart forward and full. Externally rotate right hand, toes and knees twist left. Sit the hips towards the heel. Big rise up into your left side line. Pulse here. Bending into the knees, root the hips back and open it into a spiral. Rise the left. Chin is lifted, throat is open. Gaze towards the left fingertips. Hold the lift underneath the right hip. Hip pulls back, widening to the right side. Option stay, option drop the right foot, pick up the left, one arm, one leg, side balance. We keep the left dome connected to the mat, so we have a 3-point base. Now big extension into the right leg so that we root this femur back wide up and as high as we can. Toes are connected, left knee hugs in towards the belly. Now spiral the heart, rise into the left ribs. Stay here, or option, connect your hand to the front of the thigh and press your knee into your hand to send your hips further back. Now really press down the right hand, rise higher into the ribs, root the hips further back. Big full breathing, lengthen the belly. One more big full inhale. Deep exhale, release the hand from the thigh if you've caught it there. You're going to take the left foot, step it halfway up the left side of the mat, pivot on the right. Take a deep squat, root the hips back and pulse here. If you have a block, you can catch it to bring it to the inside edge of your thigh and just pulsing a little bit more lifted. If that is still not enough space, you can take your hands above the thighs, or above the knees, I should say. So connect your toes. Feel the femurs root back wide, the butt widening towards the bottom left corner of the mat. And then I offer that you move here. So you become a little bit more cat-like, a little bit more ninja-like, and you just explore moving. What happens when you bend your knees? What happens when you twist a little bit? Sit way back towards your right knee. Cheetah lunge is what this thing is called, where the left leg is extending long. We use the heel, dig it down, drag it back. Right fingers to the inside edge of the right knee. Left arm reaches way up high and then stretch away from your extended leg. One more big full inhale here. Feel it. Breathe into it. And then like a little cheetah cat, prance your way back. Lift up, spring rise, reach the arms forward and wide. Hold the buoyancy in the heart, lifting your chin, and then spring, open leg. Connect your right hand to the front of your right knee. Resist the knee forward, send the hips back. Feel a length in the belly as you reach your left arm flying style. Standing leg, gentle bend. Option pulse here. Find stillness, reach two arms forward, sweep your right foot back behind you. Yes, so setting up a zigzag, the right toes land somewhat in alignment with the left heel. Arms are forward and wide. We'll sit the butt back wide and deep, and lift up. Sit back wide and deep, and lift up. You gotta find your feet. Sometimes you can feel quite off balance here. A little ups and downs. This is for your bum. As you sit low, the arms rise and you energetically press down to lift a length into the belly. One more pulse. We'll spring forward into cross ankle, right ankle over top of left thigh. The knee stays narrow while we sit the hips back and wide. Press down to feel your ribs rise higher. First stop, places the hands to just like nuzzled in below the groin. Here we can press down to lift the ribs up away from the hips. Lift the chin. So this is a light seat. Your hips are just subtly behind the heart. Second stop, sits deep. Roots the hips further back, hands to the shin, resist your ribs forward. If you have your left hand to your right heel, press your heel up into your hand. One more big full inhale. Exhale, rise your heart up high. Cross your right leg all the way over. Knees squished together, sit into your seat. Let's take some eagle arms. So we'll take the left arm over top of the right. If this doesn't feel okay, you can just give yourself a little hug here, or you can take the hands behind the head, elbows forward. So here, press the elbows forward and then energetically up just a little bit. Lift your chin and open your throat. Sit deep into your seat and then rise the heart high, lifting length into the belly. Sit deep, root back, lift up. This time, sit deep, curl in. Little glide. Sit deep, open it up. One more time, curl in. Little glide. Knees forward, hips back, lift it up. And keep your arms like they are in this little bind. Right leg sweeps out to the side. Tilt the torso forward, send the hips back. This leg, hamstring hug, heel to the bum, sticky pedal. Keep an energetic rising through the ribs. Keep your left toes connected. Lift the corners of your mouth. Okay. And then step your foot down to the side. Release the arms wide. A little glide of your ribs side to side. Little spring rises. Okay. Deep seat, root the hips back. Hands down to the mat. Narrow the heels, deep squat. Lift it up, spring hop. So here, pressing down so strong, the more you push the ground away, the higher your hips will go. You want to hop with intention, so allow the belly to soften, keep the knees at a 90 degree, and keep your eyes forward of your hands. Big hop. Open it up. Push down, hop. Open belly. Land back. Little shift of your hips side to side. Narrow the knees, lowers the knees. Untuck the toes, top of the feet press down. Root back, spring forward. You sit the hips way back. Peel your right knee open to the side. This time, instead of just placing the paw, we're going to step the paw forward so that the foot lands about in alignment with your left knee. So right foot steps forward in alignment with the knee. Sit the hips back and you will feel this right away. So less is more, and if you need a block, if you want a little bit more height, you can take that. Holding a brightness in the heart. Chin is lifted, throat is open. Option to allow your right foot to glide onto its side. Hold an integrity in the ankle. You can even catch your bum and pull it up as you sit into it. Widen. Okay. Hand back down. We're going to shift the weight into the left side. Take your right foot, pick it up, narrow the knee, push the ground away. This is a place where you might want the block again. So maybe block handy is a good thing. So the right hand, for me, I love to have a little bit of a base here. So a little thing that's higher than the ground. Here we're going to pull the knee forward and send the hips back. Knee pulls forward, hips move back. Chin is lifted, throat is open. Keep the hollows in your groins, butt back and wide, lengthen the belly. Okay, and then find some stillness. Connect your right hand to the front of your right knee, press them together, open your heart, open your belly. Sun is warm. Maybe catch behind the thigh, pull the flesh up to narrow the knee downward, kick your leg out to the side. Maybe you sit the hips back, allow the thigh to get heavy into your hands and find a lightness in your left fingertips. Belly's long, chin is lifted, breeze is nice, sun is warm. Maybe you fly. Hips back, open belly, reaching, extending, thigh pulls against the hand. And then coming down nice and slow, rebend through the knee, take the knee back down to the ground. Say hello to your bum. And then we'll ripple forward, undulate the spine. Press the mat away. Hold the fullness in the back of your rib cage. Root the hips back and feel a length in the belly. We're going to take the left knee this time, peel it out to the side. Instead of planting the paw right there, we're going to glide the foot forward so that it lines up with your right knee, same as the other side. Sit the hips back, and you won't need a lot. You'll feel this right away, I think. I feel it right away, where it's quite a deep stretch. The paw stays connected for these first couple of pulses. If you need a block, welcoming a block into the mix here. Little pulses forward and back. There's this brightness in the heart, length in the belly. And if you would like, you can take your left foot on an angle onto the side plane. Keep an integrity in the ankle. And here is a place you can grab your bum and just widen as you sit into your seat. So widening the glute upwards as you sit back in deep. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. And plant the paw back down. We're going to shift the weight into the right side. Take the left leg, open leg to the side. The knee is going to narrow. I'm going to sit the hips back, and when you can take your block over here, just like the other side, to give yourself a little bit more of a lift on the left, just to hold that space between the shoulder blades. It feels nice to me. It feels a little bit unbalanced if the hand's down, so just giving an opportunity to even the plane out. And then we're going to pull the knee forward and send the hips back. Little forwards and backs. And this is good for your bum. And you'll feel it right away. Some stillness. Further shift the weight into the right side. Take your left hand to the front of the thigh. Press the knee forward to send the hips back. Open the belly. Hold the lightness underneath the right armpit. Option stay. Option catch behind the thigh. Pull the flesh up to narrow the knee downward and kick a wave leg out to the side. Now allow your thigh to be heavy in your hand. Sit the hips back towards the heel. Hold the length in the belly. Yeah, domes maybe to the right hand. Chin is lifted, throat is open. Lengthen the belly. Thigh pulls against the hand. Maybe you fly. Balance, counterbalance, de jour here. Thigh pulls against the hand, reaching, extending, open the belly. Lift the corners of your mouth. And then coming back down. 2 hands to the mat, 2 knees to the mat. Take some rolls of your ribs, big barrel rolls. And then switch your roll, other direction. Press the mat away, sit the hips back, tuck the toes, lift it up. Hands and feet, pedal the heels. Bend into the knees, connect into the paws, press down and out to the side, heart forward and full, lengthen the belly. Externally rotate the left hand, toes and knees twist right. Sit the hips towards the heel, rise into your right side line. Bending and extending through the legs, turning into this human rainbow. You can bend into the knees and then root the hips back and then spiral the heart open. So it's a sit and a root and a spiral into the rise. Okay, option to stay, Option 2, drop the left, pick up the right. One arm, one leg, side balance. You can hold this connection, so there's 3 points connected for a stability while you find your foundation. And we're going to big extension into the left leg, send the hip, the femur and I guess the hip way up high and wide. So big extension into your rooted leg, send the butt back wide and high. The right knee hugs in towards the belly. Option, stay here. Option, take your right hand to the front of your thigh. And press your knee into your hand, open the belly, lift the chin. Send the hips further back, press the ground away, rise into the lightness of your ribs. One more full inhale. Exhale, take the hand back down. Right foot's gonna step to the right side of the mat. And pivot on the left. Deep squat, root the hips back, maybe catch your block. So the most extreme is staying low with the 2 fingertips or the fingers to the ground or the hands to the ground and just pulsing into this extension. We want to make sure that we're maintaining the alignment of our spine, so maybe you come up a little higher to a block. Maybe you come hands above the knees. Whatever it takes to honor the back first before the depth of the stretch. Little pulses here, rooting and widening the butt behind you. Paws connected, toes connected. And then let's move a little bit, just getting, option, you always have the option to stay, or the option to just kind of I like to move. And so just moving with the legs, you can, see where you go, right? Lots of places to go. Bend into the left knee to come into a cheetah lunge, extending the right leg. You can use your right heel, dig it down and drag it back. We want to keep at least a micro bend in the back of the knee, but you can see that I've got a more substantial bend, so I'm really honoring my joints. Left hand to the inside edge or to the ground, elbow to the inside edge of the knee. Big stretch, right arm high and reach away from your extended leg. Keep dragging the right heel down and back, so we hold the tensegrity in the back line of the leg, stretching long, breathing. And then like a little cheetah cat, we come all the way back up. Deep bend to rise up, arms wide. Stretch and open, lift the chin. Take a little spring into open leg. Connect your left hand to the front of the thigh. Reaching and extending, opening the belly. Check it, so the knees move forward and the hips glide back. Press the knee forward into the hand. Yes. Lengthening the belly, softening the shoulders, connecting the toes. Option, little pulse here. Okay, find some stillness. 2 arms reach forward, step back into zigzag. The left paw lands in alignment-ish with the right heel. Arms stay wide, heart stays high. Sit back, sit deep, and then press down to lift up. Little pulses here. This is for your bum. Your next pulse, Next, we're gonna spring forward into cross ankle, left ankle over top of right thigh. My foot on my mat so it's even. So check it out, the knee stays narrow, arms wide, sit the hips down, little pump down, lifts the ribs up high. The first stop you can take is the hands can just nuzzle below the groin, and here we're going to press down to lift the ribs up high. This is lengthen the belly, a literal lifting, a literal words, a literal lifting of your ribs up. The second stop is a deeper seat. The hips root further back. The hands to the shin can resist the ribs forward. If you take your right hand to your left heel, you can resist your heel up into your hand. Full breathing, deep seat. Chin lifted, throat open. One more big full inhale. Exhale, lift your heart up high and wide, arms wide, cross the legs all the way over. So squish the knees together, sit into an imaginary seat here. You're going to take the right arm on top of the left if we did this on the other side. Otherwise, you can give yourself a hug or take your hands behind the head, elbows hug narrow. Whatever you like. If you have your hands in this full bind, the elbows can push forward and just gently upwards. Lift up the chin, little spring, sit into your rise and open. Little sit deep, lift into the openness, soften the shoulders. And then this time we'll sit into this and curl in. Rounding through the back, glide your ribs side to side. And then sit deep and open it back up. One more time, curl in. Chin to chest, feel the back. And glide your ribs side to side, connected in. And then spring low, rise all the way up, big stretch into your length, into your openness. Come back to a neutral spine, hold the arms as they are. The left leg sweeps out to the side, back into that open leg. Keep the ribs rising, the knee forward of the hips, little sticky pedal. Okay. And then release your foot down. Step wide, big sway. Wash it out. Hands to the tops of the thighs. Hover the heels and little dancey with your knees. Glide them side to side. Okay, next time we go to the left, we'll stay. Nice deep squat. Connect your left hand to the inside edge of your left thigh. Big sweep up and over. Stretch long. Sit deep. Spring rise. And then take it to the other side. Hands move this direction, feet move to the right, deep seat, connect your right hand, big sweep, sit deep, spring, and then reach and rise. One more pulse. Back center, hands to the tops of the thighs. Root your hips back and wide. Just take some shoulder dips side to side. hips back, hands down to the mat, step back, step back. Externally rotate right hand, toes and knees, twist left. Sit, rise. Lower your right hip down, reach your right arm to the top left corner of the mat. Allow the left knee to land forward of the right knee so that it's kind of like draped forward of it. Reach the arms in front of your heart and then allow your heart to open to the sky. You can just let the arms kind of be wide. If you like to take a bind, you can take the right hand to the outside edge of your left thigh. If you like, you can press your thigh, your left knee or thigh up into your hand. Extend your right arm long. Place the left hand forward of your heart to press yourself back up. You can take a couple of hops if you want. Big spring into a hop. Eyes forward, push the ground away, super strong. Open belly, knees at a 90 degree. Land down. Big bend into the knees, send the belly towards the thighs. Send the butt way up high and then ripple forward. Undulate the spine. Big bend into the knees, belly to the thighs. Send your hips way up high and then ripple forward. One more time, big bend, belly to thighs, send the hips way up high, and then rippling forward, chin to chest, press down to broaden the back. And then find your base, hips back wide up, externally rotate the left hand, toes and knees twist right, sit the hips, rise the ribs. Lower your left hip down, extend the left arm long to the right corner. Allow the right knee to drape forward of the left knee. And press your arms forward of the heart to open the heart upwards to the sky. You can just stay hanging chill here if you like, or you can take your left hand to the outside edge of your right thigh. Little bind. Other things to play with here is you can resist your knee up into your hand, giving yourself a little stretch in the side belly here. Extend your left, left arm? Yeah, back to the top of the mat. Right hand plants in front of the heart. Press yourself back up into all fours, hands and knees. Take the hands wider than the mat and walk the knees back. And setting up some panther prep, these little half push-ups. Hamstring hug heel towards the bum to get the hips high and the belly long. Really connect into the engagement of your glute. The belly stays long, and then we just kind of like resist, it's like we're resisting the allowance of our heart to move forward so that you really feel this tone and length in the belly, coming down halfway to the height of the elbow and then lifting back up. Less is more. It's resisted. The hips keep pulling you back, so it's hard to get down. And then lift up. The belly keeps lengthening. Next time you come down, you can glide your ribs side to side. Let yourself move all the way down. Give yourself little double fists. Plant them to, plant your head to your fists. And just tick-tock your knees side to side. Feels kind of like what I want. I want to like connect into my quads. And so if you feel the fancy, you can take your hands and catch your feet and just pull your, I feel like I have such open quads for some reason. It's very interesting, but it takes a lot for me to feel a stretch. So if that calls to you, you can take it. And then we're just going to roll onto the back. Catch your knees by cupping them. It'll rock side to side. Release the left foot down and interlace your hands behind the right thigh, extending your heel upwards. We maintain the lower lumbar moving into its natural curve. You can take little pulses here if that feels good. Just kicking extension into the back of the leg. Soften the toes. Bend into the knee and slide your hand to the inside edge to catch half happy baby. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can just maintain this stretch here, this extension of the leg. If you have half happy baby, you can play with extending the leg long if that's there for you. Just placing that foot back down, interlace your hands behind the left thigh. Thigh pulls heavy, and the arms pull long, and the shoulder blades broaden. Extend your leg up to the sky. You can take little pulses here. The heel is energetically lifting up as the femur roots down. And soften the toes. And if you have it here, if you want, you can either stay or move into half happy baby. We come to the inside edge of the knee to catch the outside edge of the foot. And the knee gently pulls down towards the shoulder-ish. If you have the space, you can play with extending the leg. To the mat behind your sits bones. Chin up by your hands, little fingertips above the head, elbows to the sky, knees move one direction. Use the fingertips to drag back towards your shoulders to lift up into the belly. Root your hips low and then switch sides. your arms up, cross your wrists, and just massage your back, little glide of your ribs side to side. And then extend your legs long. Hands can catch the bum to spread the cheeks. You can give yourself a bear hug, just broaden the shoulders. Arms out to the side, palms up or down, you can decide. Lift the chin and open the throat. Big full inhale. Deep exhale, lets it go. Let yourself soften, be held. Give your heart as often as you can. Give, 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 give. Stay for as long as you can. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.